This is episode 25.
Episode 25.
Made it all the way to 25.
25, and we're still nowhere.
Got 25 episodes and about 25 viewers.
So the new iPhone 15 was launched.
It was, yes.
It was launched, and what horrendous week it's been for it.
It's not been ideal. It's funny as well, because the first half of the week was really good. It was people saying, oh, iPhone 15, titanium's the move, it's the way to go. Second half of the week, though, not so much.
Not looking good, is it?
No.
Considering with its new iOS update, it's got multiple bugs, and then also it's been found on its after its launch, it's got loads of problems, i.e., bugs, software issues, and as well as
hardware
cracks.
issues. Yes, I guess you could call them defects.
You could call it a defect. So what's Apple going to do? What is Apple going to come up with a new? They're going to relaunch the new version, or are they just going to let this be?
Well, you know what they'll do, don't you? They'll in like 6 months' time they'll launch the iPhone 15 Pro S or something, and it'll be the new upgraded hardware, and it'll be fine.
So you're going to basically be stuck with a 15.
I would imagine so. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the damage that's like you've seen on these iPhone 15 Pros have been like purposeful damage to see what they can take.
Yeah, but these are everyday things that are going to happen, aren't they?
Yeah, but if you drop it on like the floor, it's going to be fucked.
That's it, 100%. That's why you buy a case. That's why you always buy a case.
Yeah,
and people have always lived by that terminology. If you buy a case, the case ruins the phone anyway. But the phone should be able to take some sort of durability.
It's funny because I don't know how anyone. Well, actually, my lovely wife lives without a case.
She lives without a case.
She doesn't have a case, and it stresses me out.
And it finds fine.
And the phone's fine, but I don't know how you could live without a case. But it's also kind of sad because I don't feel like you should have to have a case. But it's literally a given. You can't have really an iPhone without a case because it would just or a screen protector.
Never used to have cases on your old phones.
No, you didn't, did you? It wasn't a thing.
When you had a Nokia,
you'd have like a novelty case, but that was to like clip onto your trousers
the belt
or
and it clear through plastic.
That wasn't to protect the phone.
That's what I'm saying. So we've got companies out there, like Otterbox and everything like that make these dust-proof cases for everyday construction workers or people that work in dusty environments.
Yeah.
You know, to protect the phone from dust. But you know, you've got your white collars out there who are going to have these phones in their pockets, slip them in and out. You know, you're not going to want a big, bulky, heavy case, are you? In your trousers, in your jeans every day.
No,
so you're just going to want a normal phone. But let's say, for instance, you're walking down the balcony out of your office block. Let's just say you're coming down the stairwell, you've got your laptop in your hands, you drop your phone, happens. You know, you were clumsy, the human body, you know, things like this. Or trip and fall. That phone's going to fall multiple times down those steps. It should be able to take some durability.
It should have some
durability. And you shouldn't be able to have to go to Apple and go, oh, mate, I fucked the phone. Can you fix the glass?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to be doing that every time you drop that phone.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to have that sort of like crazy warranty stuff they do just to protect your phone. Like screen protectors.
Everyone does it, don't they?
Like screen protectors. You shouldn't really need a screen protector.
Not with the amount of screen. Well, we see it with Jerry Rex, everything like scraping it, does a durability scraping test. It came up to a 6 or a 7, you know. But every phone nowadays should be at like a 10.
Yeah, you shouldn't need a screen protector really. Like the first thing I do whenever I get a phone, buy a new case, buy a screen protector. Like I kind of
the amount of money we go into these phones when we buy them.
Like the case is a bit of a different one because sure, sometimes you're going to drop your phone. If it makes you feel safer, get a case, fine. But the screen protector bit, surely they could make the screens more durable.
Well, there are phones that do come with a screen protector already fitted, don't they?
Or just put a screen protector on the thing.
They do say not to remove the screen protector. I think it's more of the flip phones that we're starting to see. They have their own screen protector, don't they?
Yeah.
They say not to remove that. That's a protective
those ones freak
layer.
Me out, those phones.
Yeah, this is it. I'm very surprised that iPhone hasn't actually attempted any way of doing it.
I feel like it's a bit too gimmicky for Apple.
I don't think they will. Like you say, gimmicky. You've got the iPhone, then you've got the Max. So why do we need to then go from a Max to a bigger one when we've got an iPad Mini and an iPad?
I think if they started doing a phone that's basically the size of an iPad, but you can fold it in half, I feel like it would crush iPad a little bit.
Probably defeat the object of the iPad.
A little bit.
But this is it. This is what we're, as iPhone users, and we have been for many years now. It looks like the older models with a better platform, and it looks like. I hate to say it, old Tim hasn't revolutionised Apple. Apple hasn't come up with anything new lately.
I mean, he's done some good stuff since he's taken over from Steve Jobs, but he's not got the vision that Steve Jobs had.
No.
it's not the same sort of thing. Like Apple doesn't wow people anymore.
This thing would have probably had like toothbrush built into it by now if it was Steve Jobs. I like the new feature on the iOS. You put it on its side, it's got standby mode. I like that. They make it very dodgy though, because only 14s and 15s afterwards have the standby on always on. Whereas the iPhone 13, it won't let you do that because of the screen.
The always on screen. Yeah.
That's terrible.
The always on.
I've done that on purpose.
The always on screen's a weird one because I've got it on mine, and I've had mine for probably like 4 months now, 4 or 5 months, and I still can't get used to the fact the screen's always on.
It knows when you're in the room, doesn't it?
Yeah, the watch does as well.
Yeah.
The watch has done it since the first version. Like when my watch,
of course, you walk in.
When my watch is on charge, I'll walk up close to it and the screen will come on. I'm like, whoa, fuck.
Yeah, that's
How does it know I'm here?
How does it know I'm there?
It's a little bit weird, but it's
this is what we're saying. These are the little things that are coming with it, but we're not seeing anything new. Like I don't think we'd have probably had the same looking iPhone by now.
No, I think
it's the same. The only thing that's changed is their buttons now, aren't they? The silence.
Yeah. I feel like Apple's hardware and just the iPhone in general, hardware has peaked. Software, you can keep making that better for a million years.
Yeah.
But hardware, I feel like for the time being, for the next 5-10 years maybe, I feel like the hardware really has peaked.
Just looking at all of those years when we used to see like concept pictures, we should be seeing a see-through phone now.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Shouldn't we? We should be seeing a see-through phone.
Imagine see-through phone. Drop out in the water, you can't find it.
There's other things as well that I've heard as well, that obviously if the back breaks, iPhone have made it harder for like third-party repairers. If they don't put back the original charging ring, it has something to do with the photos.
Oh, right.
It will not do flash or something with the photos. So I've heard. So this is another thing that they're doing. There's just more and more gimmicks being put in.
I have heard that they do make
anti-third party.
Yeah, I have heard they do a lot of that.
The new battery, apparently it won't show you the percentage.
Yeah, I have heard that.
That's why I'm very wary going to Vodafone, who are my provider. Will they send that phone to iPhone for it to have a new battery? Because I've got a free battery change in my contract. And I'm now at 80% on the iPhone 13. So I'd like to know if it's done by them.
Yeah, that does make you
Apple,
wonder. I would assume.
Because it doesn't show it afterwards, the percentage. And that's very helpful for when you sell the phone.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Because you won't get your full price for it because they go, it's not got a legit Apple product.
Yeah, that is interesting. That's kind of weird.
So, theory on it, don't get the iPhone 15.
I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Like I say, if you've got an iPhone 13, 14, like, you're going to get the iOS update anyway. I think even 12s get it as well. Maybe 11s, I'm not entirely
XR,
sure.
I think, get it.
But I think the thing is with iPhones, the hardware, it peaked at maybe the 13, 14.
3GS.
3GS.
But it's always the same thing, and it's just the most latest, revolutionary iPhone we've ever made. No, it's not. You said that last year.
This is a revolutionary piece of tech. Oh, it's got USB-C. Wow, the whole world's had that for about 5 years.
They said that last year, and they've even made that hard. Even the little dongle for it. That's like 30 quid in it or something like that.
Do you know what? I think the fact that they've been touting USB-C is a big feature. It just goes to show that hardware-wise, there really aren't many new features.
There isn't at all, is there? Really. And they dimmed it down, didn't they? They made it USB-C 2.
Yeah, they did.
0.0, not 3.0.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Why?
Christ knows.
Why would you do that?
Just because they've been awkward about USB-C, I guess.
Awkward.
I think they are. Generally
they are being awkward because they didn't want to do it. But their laptops are USB-C.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, MacBooks.
Yes, don't call it a laptop.
It sits on your lap, though.
It's not a common man's laptop.
No, but it's not like having a Toshiba.
Oh, yeah.
But it's true, isn't it? Like, it's already there.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird.
Why did you make that harder? I mean, God, it's better anyway. But you can put it in the same way as lightning, upside down.
The thing that shows how weird Apple have been about USB-C is we recently got a new car, right? This new car we've got, it was built in 2021. It's got USB-C ports in it.
That's what we've got in ours.
The iPhone 15 has just come out and they're touting this is all brand new USB-C.
I know.
USB-C's been around for years. Like,
it's been around for a very long time. Very long time.
Like, what are they talking about?
Most things you buy now, my gaming headset's USB-C.
Yeah.
The gaming controller's USB-C.
Like, I don't...
probably the last thing I saw USB on was probably the PlayStation.
Yeah, probably.
And PCs now, they're moving away a lot from the 3.0 now. They're now going into a bit of faster version of the USB. And they do have USB-C on them. You can buy that to go in your
it's crazy.
So why is it iPhone have taken such a long time to go, Oh, okay. Well,
But it's so stupid.
but
though.
everyone's got USB-C
The stupid
charger
thing
in their
is,
house.
on the MacBook Pros, they completely got rid of the USB port regular one and just put
That's
USB-C on it.
Yeah.
But then when they released iPhones, they were like, nah, Lightning.
We don't really want to do it.
What? That's so weird.
But then they went from a brilliant one, didn't they? From the old MacBook, it had the magnetic.
Oh, the MagSafe charger.
Perfect.
I like because I've got two laptops at home. I've got my personal and my work one.
Yeah.
One's got the MagSafe, one hasn't. The MagSafe is so good.
You just pull away.
You just flip it over there, done.
Yeah.
You don't have to push it in.
Try and find it.
It just
Scratch
works.
Scratch the laptop.
It works perfectly.
MacBook. Scratch it.
Why
and try
did they
and
get rid of the MagSafe charging ports? Why?
Yeah, this is it. This is the thing, innit? This is what Apple, I don't think you've come up with anything new lately. It's about time, innit?
Big words.
You haven't come up with anything new.
A few things, but nothing that's groundbreaking.
But nothing's changed. Why the cameras getting further out on the phone?
Yeah.
It makes it shit for it to sit down on the table.
Oh, it's so funny when you put your phone on the table, it's just rattling around like that.
You know, it's like when you go into a pub and a table wobbles. What's the first thing you do? Chuck a couple of fucking beer mats under it, don't you? Level it out.
Do that on your phone.
I have to do it on my phone now. It's just why? What's going on?
Oh, that's crazy. Well, I guess we'll see what comes out from 15, see what Apple do, but at the moment...
It won't be. I don't think they will. It'll be the iPhone 15s, won't it?
Probably will be, yeah.
And it'll be a new screen on the back and there'll be a few more fixes.
As far as we can see.
And it'll probably come back with Lightning.
Yeah.
They'll probably find a way around it.
Just don't buy an iPhone 15 right now. Not worth it.
No. And don't buy it for your 13-year-old daughter if she likes smashing them up. Right, we're bringing a new segment to this now. We're going to have what they used to have on Top Gear. Cool wool and not cool wool. So, cool going up. Seb, if you want to put the not cool up.
Oh, indeed.
We go there somewhere. Look at that. Lovely. It's not even in line. Perfect.
Beautiful.
So we're going to put anyone that we think is cool now here. And not cool's going to go on there. So it's all changed.
That's all changed.
All changed. Got a new idea.
We have.
Sunak.
Sunak.
Rishi Sunak.
Your favourite of all the Prime Ministers.
Are not voted in Prime Minister.
That's how he should be remembered.
So yeah, Rishi Sunak's back in the news this week. He is actually re-rolling. He's actually getting rid of history.
He's doing a bit of U-turn, isn't he?
A massive U-turn on what's that? Electric vehicles, heating policies, and obviously for the effective cost of living. What does that mean for us as a consumer? Thumbs up.
Yes.
It means now that anyone who's got a gas boiler and they were going to try and force us all to have a heat pump in our house, it's going to cost us thousands, being put back. They want to rethink about all of it, everything about it. Instead of you getting like a 4,000 grant, you may get an 8,000 grant. Things like that, the similar things that everyone needs in the average household.
It's kind of interesting as well because he's been pushing hard on this for quite a while, saying no, this needs to happen, net 30, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's kind of been like, actually, probably doesn't. It's not really feasible.
It makes you wonder though, is this all just for next year's election?
Probably. Of course it
I
is.
personally believe it is. Because they know that majority of the voters are not against it, but we just don't see it feasible.
No, that's the
I
thing.
don't see it feasible. I don't see it working. I work for the natural gas industry. Thousands of homes, millions of homes have gas.
Yeah.
Central heating is provided by gas boiler. For you to ask them to then go onto a heat pump requires electricity.
Yep.
Another demand for electricity. Then you've got the electric vehicle. More demand for electricity than it is already. We were struggling in the winter by national grid enough with the electricity demand.
The electric vehicles and stuff is a weird one because I think that, well, in all honesty, I think that yes, electric vehicles are the way to go. And I can see a future where, there's not really any petrol vehicles, it's all electric. Future, world, planet goes on, all this sort of stuff. However, that's the future. I don't see that as feasible tomorrow.
It's not feasible.
Which is what a lot of people are trying to push for. Like, I understand it's a good thing, but it's not feasible to suddenly force everyone to buy an electric vehicle.
It's not feasible
and
anyway.
Go all in by next week. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of these people that live in these homes, our British homes are so fucking tiny.
Yeah.
A lot of people live in terrace houses, which have like one parking space dedicated to that property outside. So run the cable from your house to the road.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That is a weird one. I don't even know how that would be feasible for a lot of people. Like if they're literally parking on the road. Do you know what I mean?
This is
I don't
it
understand how
comes with its problems. Yeah, we accept the fact that the future is moving. we're in that future where we're now in the crossover to see it in new vehicles. Talk about 50 years ago, you would never ever have spoke about electric cars driving around.
No.
No one would have thought it feasible.
You wouldn't have even thought of it as any sort of solution, though. Even that, because you wouldn't have thought it was even a feasible thing that could exist.
No, that's it. And we're now in that crossover in that time where we're starting to see things change. I've still got a petrol combustible engine. You've just bought a new petrol engine. You know, it's not. We're not ready. The electricity is not ready.
No.
The demand for it is not ready. People can say all they want about it, that it's greener, it's better. It's not ready. The cables that are in our roads and overhead on our pylons are so old. The demand for the electricity is just not capable. We all need to have the brand new latest cable laying in the road. And people will be against it because you're having roadworks.
Yeah, they're going to be roadworks.
People hate roadworks enough as it is. They hate it when the road's being dug up 6 times a year.
Yeah.
They hate it when they see it there's getting a cycle lane built. They hate it when they see that there's a crossing being put in. And they hate it when a road's being closed due to an LTN. So you're going to see that. There's going to be major contracts overhauled. There's going to be major works going on with getting all these EV charging points put in. You can have them at home, that's great. But there's going to be people that don't have the luxury of having it put on their house where they can park on the driveway. We're going to start seeing on street lights. We're seeing it in London already. We're seeing these massive charging bays being put in London. That's fine, but you need the land to put them in.
So I've got a question about this. Do you think Rishi Sunak, because he's basically saying the reason he's rolling back on his ideas is because of the cost of living crisis. People can't afford to push this hard. Do you think he's doing that genuinely because of cost of living, or do you think he's actually doing it because it makes him look better next year's elections? Or
I think it's going to give the Conservative Party a vote again next year. At the same time, it's in his interest as the PM that he needs to be seen doing action, hasn't he, for the crisis that we're right in?
Yes, he does. Yes.
A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck in this country now. And a lot of people are relying on that. Rent is going up tenfold. Mortgages are going up by the double.
But wages aren't really going up.
So. Wages can't go up. If wages were to go up even more, everything else goes up. How that makes sense, I don't fucking know. No, but, you know, how having a higher wage makes a Kit Kat go up an extra £1. I don't understand.
That's a little bit over my head.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense, does it? It's all bullshit at the end of the day. It's just another thing that the government want everyone to be in debt with. But you can't push that for every other agenda. You can't push that for everyone. Everyone's not in the same luxurious boat that Rishi Sunak's in. Considering that he is the 20th richest person in the country.
He is a man of much wealth.
So,
he's not. I think the problem is
he's obviously a man clever with money.
Oh, of course, he's not just an average guy, though, is he? He's not just the bloke next door.
But this is where it goes. This is where it cracks you up, because we actually writ off our debt for the PPE for COVID.
Yeah.
What about just writing off the debt of the whole country?
Imagine.
You know, but they don't want to. They don't want to do that.
No,
they don't want to do that.
Do you reckon if they did that, it would just be absolute chaos?
No.
Do you not reckon?
Not at all. Why would it be chaos?
I don't know. I assume that's why they say
the only people that would fucking fall out of business would be debt collectors,
scum anyway,
just scum, and probably like British Gas.
Probably
they're like the largest debt collector in the country, you know, because they love getting £200 out of our women.
To be fair, the way the energy companies do work, they do work on basically a debt basis.
They are a debt company.
That is basically how they work.
Debt collector, just a broker, aren't they?
Yeah.
But this is an interesting one. A lot of people are anti it because they think, oh, great, we're never going to get to see my kids grow up in a clean environment. Fuck off to the countryside. Stop living in London. You know that there's thousands of acres in this country that are not being affected by toxic gases.
Yeah, I mean, London's probably not the place you want to live if you're worried about the environment.
But the problem is, London isn't actually dealing with its pollution in any way, which will form. It's just taxing you to pollute. So it's the same rolling argument. You're just going to pay for it.
It's not really a solution. It's just like a Band-Aid on a problem.
That's all you're doing. Yeah, it's just an open wound and then just chucking more shit in there.
Yeah,
it's just getting more and more infected daily.
With the bandage on it.
You know, people can criticise us for all we want. You know, my theory on net zero ain't going to work, ain't going to happen. You got countries like China, they're 800% higher polluting.
China are immense.
We're 2%.
China are the sort of company.
And people are going to come. Well, they are a company, aren't they? With everyone employed.
They're the sort of country.
Cheap labour. And they mine everything.
I think they're the sort of country where their belief system lies in the fact that they will mine the planet into the ground until it's dead,
Until it's gone.
and then that's the end.
And then that's it. That's China will be gone. It'll be just a
it.
massive hole.
That's the end.
But this is the thing: China EVs making the batteries, but they also put spyware in the batteries. So we need to stop that.
The whole net zero thing. I think the idea of it is good. I just don't think it's feasible on the timescale. I think it's got
Needs to be made by us.
I think it's a little. It's too little. It's too late, and they're then expecting it to be done too quickly.
But what if it isn't too late? What if it actually there is no such thing?
All conspiracy time. That's some real tinfoil hat moment right there. Are you about to tell the world that pollution doesn't exist?
It's false or fake. Chuck it in there. What was it everyone used to say? Global warming's a myth. But it's true, isn't it? It's like there's that rabbit hole, isn't there? There's that loophole conspiracy. This isn't real. This is all being made up, fabricated with the chemtrails. Bill Gates is involved. He just wants everyone to eat bugs and be taxed. Oh, that was it as well. They removed the tax on red meat.
Going down a goddamn rabbit hole.
What? They were going to tax people for eating meat in this country.
Oh, what? Because of the
what the fuck are we meant to eat?
And all that sort of stuff.
We're carnivores.
Not allowed though, are you?
Thousands of years of evolution, our body has been chemically made and designed in our DNA to eat meat and produce and to digest it.
Government says no.
Government says no. Don't listen to the government, everyone. Just don't listen to them. Why do you need the government to tell you that you need to buy an EV? Just go buy a second-hand Range Rover V8 diesel.
I think
you're just going to be taxed for it.
I think realistically, if people actually, like, if the average person actually cared about saving the planet, we would have saved the planet by now.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? You just literally said if everyone cared, EVs sales wouldn't have gone down.
No,
they're going down.
The average person, it's sad because yes, saving the planet is a good thing morally. Sure, saving the planet is a good thing, of course. However, the average person
can't afford it.
I know. The average person just doesn't give a shit.
There was also things about 7 trash cans as well that we were going to have.
What do you mean?
7 bins they were going to give for a household.
All right.
On how to deal with waste.
Jesus.
But 1 minute. Biffa, right, a commercial recycling waste company who takes your waste away.
Yes.
Puts dry cardboard and recyclables in its general waste compacting machine and takes it to its plant. What's the fucking point?
Good job, mate. They really?
Yeah, 100%. I've seen them do
Brilliant.
it. McDonald's are the same. In McDonald's, you've got segregation boxes to put your lid, cup, drop your fluids into there, rubbish in there, cardboard in there. Goes into one big black bag underneath.
Into one giant bin bag.
It does, and they take it out.
They just launch
Have you never seen the clear bags?
No,
it's full of it.
No, I've never really thought.
It then goes to the recycling company.
Mm.
The recycling sorting company then go through it. If it's got one oil stain on it, it can't be used. It gets thrown in landfill.
You would think
cardboard breaks down. I get cardboard breaks down. But that oil doesn't.
You would think, right, at this point in time, we would have a better way of recycling things that have got contaminants like oil or anything on them, like cardboard.
We don't.
There'd be a better way of extracting that stuff back out, right?
Car oil.
Yeah.
We burn it.
Yeah.
If you go to every car garage, there'll be a burning oil machine.
Mm.
You won't be able to do that in a minute. But how are you meant to destroy oil?
Yeah, you think there must be.
You can't just tip it in the ground. You used to. There used to be a picture about it, didn't it?
Where it come from.
You used to dig a hole, 2 foot.
Yeah.
Fill it with shingle, and then pour your oil into it. Your motor oil. That's a legit thing. I'll show you it.
I didn't know this was a thing.
I'll get it up.
Pouring your motor oil into the ground.
It'd say you don't do that now.
Please do not pour it into a hole in the ground like your granddad did. Wow, look at it.
Disposing of engine oil. This is on a Reddit thread.
1960s motor oil disposal.
There you go. Dig a hole.
Literally, wow.
Put your oil in the ground. People were doing this all the way up to probably the 90s, maybe the 2000s.
Say to your granddad, you were killing the planet. He goes, what are you talking about?
I was told to do that.
He's like, that was the advice.
Another thing that these people were told to do that. We were all told to buy a diesel car. 60 years later, we're fucking killing the earth.
Buying diesel. To be fair,
So what's this? Is this a new thing? Is this to buy EV, buy an electric car, but the batteries, we can't do anything with them. We can't make no new ones because we fucking exhausted the earth.
Yeah, because it's a finite resource.
And they won't let us invade Taiwan for more.
It does make you wonder what they're going to do with all that. Because
it's the next thing, isn't it?
Because obviously the cobalt is like a finite resource. Like,
and the phone screens.
What are they gonna do? What are we gonna do? Just to be like, sorry, no more batteries for you.
But there's this great big fucking ball of gas in the sky called the sun, and we're not allowed to use solar panels because they say solar panels only have a life expectancy of 15 years.
Interesting.
Fucking change it then.
Is that the best tech we've got? 15-year-old solar panels.
They still get damaged, and the cells get damaged in the thingy, I believe.
Fuck, I don't know.
And after that 15 years, they still haven't paid you off. Like, paid off what they cost.
It's just an absolute con.
It's just a con. It's just someone getting money everywhere. And it's going to be with the EV in your house. It's getting the charger put in your house. People don't install them correctly.
That's going to be difficult for a lot of people, like we said at the start, because where are people going to put them? People that live in a terrace house and they park on the road.
Then the other thing is as well, it's the household as well. If you're a renter, your landlord, he'll put in the bare minimum to put up spec to environment standards. And then it'll be rated a C or a B, and they'll go, that's fine. But your house, you're probably burning 20%, 40% more gas and electricity than the house across the street, who is at the effectiveness. But you're still paying the same taxes and still doing the same amount as you can do, but you're doing more damage than they are across the road. So what's the fucking point in us doing it if our next door neighbours are not really next door, but China is just absolutely destroying the...
Doesn't make you wonder, does
This is just one big vicious circle.
It's a vicious circle. You can't get out of it.
If Rishi Sunak keeps rolling it back, I'll keep voting Conservatives.
Well, there you go then. Vicious circle. Can't get out of it. Planet's going to die. Let's accept it.
And let's just keep voting for it to be pushed back more. I'm waiting for the hate. It's happened again.
It's happened again. After last week's episode when we talked about XL Bully, the dog breed being banned, there's been another attack in central London. And this time, the story is a little bit... It's not as vicious as the other stories. Like, the man who was attacked didn't come off a lot worse than the previous people. However...
But they managed to get into his garden, didn't they?
So what happened is he was sort of like in a park area, and this XL Bully basically jumped over a fence, sprinted over to him, started attacking him. Apparently bit all his abdomen and bit his arm quite badly. And apparently the bloke who owned the dog come running over, grabbed the dog off, and then ran off with it.
See, you're just...
So police are currently looking for the bloke, and that's about as far as we've got. But
you can't make this up.
It's not exactly helping the case of the XL Bully being banned as a breed.
No, and considering there's a large petition at the moment for them to reverse the ban.
Yes.
That's not really doing...
I don't think that story's helping.
What are you possibly doing as a dog owner? Because I'll tell you now what I would do if my dog attacked a child. That dog would be locked straight up.
Yeah, you can't be...
I'd drag that dog off of that person.
You can't be attacking...
I would put myself in danger to save that child.
Of course.
That's the probability. With a dog that size, maybe hard. We've seen the videos. We've seen 3 men trying to take one off of one
video,
man of him being mauled.
Jesus Christ.
One hitting them over the... You know, we can't obviously share that on the here.
No.
If you want to go on the Reddit, it's on there. It's on Twitter, X. You can go look it up. You can probably see all of these videos of X. You probably can see some worse stuff.
Probably.
But this is it again, isn't it?
I mean, a lot of people are obviously calling for it to be banned and any current owners to muzzle their dogs. I mean, this story doesn't exactly help the case. I mean, yeah, that dog sounds like it should have been muzzled anyway. And the bloke who owns it, doing a runner, doesn't really sound like morally straight edge kind of guy. You know what I mean? Probably a little bit morally corrupt. What's the money? Now, this is an assumption here. What's the money the bloke who owns that XL Bully was wearing a full tracksuit at the time?
6 hours ago, XL Bully campaigner is attacked by one of his own dogs trying to save after vicious owner set the animal on him when he asked him to put it on its lead. So he's attacked by his own dog.
Was it his own dog or was it another bloke's dog? Oh,
attacked by one of the dogs.
So he was trying to save these XL Bullies, like campaign for him, and he basically got attacked by an XL Bully because he told the owner to put it on a lead.
The irony.
And the XL Bully then attacked him. And wow, kind of messed his face up pretty bad.
I get it. I get it. No one wants to have a dog ban. No one wants to have a dog. They are gorgeous looking dogs.
They are. They look like lovely dogs.
But
And I'm sure some of them are really lovely.
they're bloody huge.
But
for
they're
one.
huge. They're strong and clearly kind of bred to be a bit vicious anyway. So like,
yeah, they've had all sorts of interbreeding
like
over the
you
years.
can't
and everything
really
like that.
have that as a dog, you know. I mean, if you see that breed of dog and you think I want one of those, why? Is it because you're a bloke who wants a dog who looks a bit tough, you know? Like,
Just get a German Shepherd.
if that's the reason you want it, then don't. Like, that's not the reason to get a dog.
Or get a Chihuahua.
Get a Chihuahua. They'll
They're
bark,
vicious.
they'll bark and bite people's ankles off like you wouldn't believe.
But this is it. This just goes to show, doesn't it? This is the irony of it now, isn't it? This is how ironic it's becoming.
Yeah.
I feel like Emperor Palpatine. Ironic. That's how it's becoming, isn't it? It's becoming like that.
It's becoming.
You're defending. It's like people that defend the people coming over on the boats and their house gets broken into by the people that come on the boats.
Yeah.
You can't have it all. So unfortunately, with the XL bully, I think everyone needs to make their bed and lay in it now.
Yeah.
It's coming. The government aren't going to roll back.
No, they're not right. Especially not after more attacks.
Not more attacks.
Especially even a guy trying to save one.
And we're not highlighting it's the XL bully. If there was another dog attack, we would highlight that.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's becoming a more popular thing. That's because the media are pushing this agenda.
Course,
obviously, we know how the media works in this country. It gets on a bandwagon and it follows it.
I'm sure there have been staffy attacks recently as well.
Yeah, 100%. There's probably been a Jack Russell. I did hear the other day there was someone that got attacked in a pub by a Chihuahua. His kid got because they went near the dog. The dog was stressed out. This is what happens.
What I would say though is if you're getting attacked by a Jack Russell or a Chihuahua, I feel like you're probably going to fare a lot better than a fucking XL bully going.
Well, this is it. The mouths like that ain't going to get round your arm. Maybe a kid's, but you just don't fucking think.
That's what I mean. Like XL bully going.
You ain't moving that.
Nah, XL bully going for your throat. Like you're not getting that thing off. Jack Russell, you could probably launch that.
Be like moving a train carriage.
Yeah.
So that's all we've got on that. That's an update. There's nothing new to that.
No. Anything else?
There is a campaign that's come into it.
Yeah, and if the ban when and does and whatever comes into effect, we'll try and cover it.
We'll try and cover it. On this episode of How Fucked Up Is Fucked Up.
How bad the country's gone.
Everyone is against police having guns in this country. Why should the police have guns if we can't have guns? Completely agree with it, but Ministry of Defence has offered military support after armed Metropolitan Police officers turn in its weapons. Look at what you've done.
Apparently, as well, around 100 or so officers have either turned in their weapons or refused to go on armed duty because they're scared what's going to happen to them if they have to use their guns. Now, this has obviously come after Chris. Is his name Chris Capper? Is that his name?
Chris
Capper was shot through his driver's window when he tried to drive off from police. Obviously, officer opened fire and killed him. And the man who shot the police officer has been charged with murder now. But it's making a lot of officers scared to go out with guns, not even use them, just carry them because they're worried what's going to happen to them if they have to use them. What's the point in having them if when you use them, you get sent down for murder? You might as well just not have them in the first place.
But this is the problem now. You've now just gone from someone who has empathy behind a rifle, behind a weapon system to kill, has empathy, to now someone that could potentially have no empathy.
Are you talking about bringing in Ministry of Defence armed soldiers?
You're having now military rolling on the streets.
Armed soldiers walking around the streets.
You're now talking about Northern Ireland.
I think the difference between a police officer, that's someone who wants to serve and protect people.
It's a peacekeeper, isn't it?
A soldier is someone who wants war. Like, they're not going to hesitate to start shooting people if they feel the need. A police officer is going to go a lot further before they start shooting.
We're not saying that every soldier's the same, but we need to look back at Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, we're not saying every soldier.
The protests, the Irish protesters. And all it took was them to hear 1 minute of gunfire or someone had a gun, and we saw it. We've seen the films, we've seen the reenactments, we've seen the documentaries. Just open fire on innocent civilians, not armed. And this is what could potentially happen.
Yeah, like obviously not every soldier's bloodthirsty.
No, not at all.
Like not every soldier's bloodthirsty. But if you have trained soldiers, men who aren't trained to keep the peace, really, they're trained to go to war. Like that's not really going to help, So police officers should feel a little bit safer about being able to carry armed weapons if that's part of their job.
So that's it. So the MOD has basically said received a request known as military aid to the civilian authorities, the MACA, from the Home Office to provide routine counter-terrorism contingency support to the Metropolitan Police should it be needed. Now, these officers that have laid down the weapons, these are counter-terrorism firearms officers. These are CTSFOs. So they're highly trained. They train daily, they train weekly, they train yearly. These men and women are familiar with that weapon system, and they're familiar with their surroundings, their urban environments, and how to deal and basically counter-terrorism. These are also people. These are people that have been police officers. You've got to be, I believe you've got to be a minimum of a couple of years of being a police officer. I'm not entirely sure on what that is. You can't just roll into this job off the street.
You're not just packing heat on day one.
And you're given, you're basically given a Colt 19. You're straight off you go. It's not. It doesn't happen like that. So these are people that go through a rep-in. They go through a series of tests. They get tests after the jobs. And when something like this happens, there's a major debrief. Now something has happened here that no one's seeing the full picture about. We get a lovely photo of Chris Cabot. Don't know intentionally what the intentions are, but to get shot through the car by an armed police officer, this country doesn't happen too often.
No, this isn't.
You must be doing something seriously wrong.
Yeah, this isn't
breaking some serious laws to be shot by an armed officer.
Of course, like this isn't the grand old US of A where anyone who twitches gets a bullet through the brain.
Exactly.
Like that's not really the sort of thing that happens over here. So it doesn't. I mean, we don't know the full story of what happened, but
so that's it. And this is now the outcome of it. You're now going to probably see military help out in counter-terrorism operations, where instead of just having a police officer do it, it's bad enough that the police are stretched thin as it is. The military is stretched thin as it is. Yeah. We've got war going on in the Middle East that has risks to this country. We constantly have the Russians tempting our response times with trying jets in our airspace, everything. I'm not saying the army can jump in a jet and fly off like in GTA you can, but everyone has an aid and a personal part of that military. They all do something. So now it's taking the time from that. This is just proof. This is just another block out of a pillar of society today.
Another sign
that these officers don't feel they can carry out their duties.
Yeah,
without being questioned if they were to
and that is
shoot
sad,
to kill.
Because it does bring back the whole question of these officers are trained to go on patrol, but whatever the sort of jobs they have to do, they're armed police officers. They're trained for this, and if they're worried about carrying a weapon because they're worried what's going to happen if they have to use it, what's the point in them having them in the first place?
This is the thing as well. When these officers respond to these 999 calls or to assist an officer, they don't know what's going through their head, so all the adrenaline's pumping, everything's going. They are trained to deal with that. It's basically not tunnel vision and jump out and start. I don't imagine they jumped out and started shooting anyway.
No,
this is a thing that needs to be left to the Metropolitan, but and seriously investigated on. Obviously, he's being charged for murder. He'll now go to prison for that for the rest of his life, but he has to live with that.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think he's gone home that night and gone on the beers and started saying to all the other mates, "Oh bloody hell, did you see me shoot that lad?"
Yeah.
He probably didn't do that. He probably went home and cried.
He probably did.
There's a lot of people out there that are police officers that are civilians, and there are the people that are in the wrong part of the job. They shouldn't even be in the job. We know that the Metropolitan's been getting criticised for that for the last couple of years now. And for this to happen, and for other officers to feel that they can't fulfil their duties, carrying a weapon system on duty that they think they might not have the backing of the Met on them, or they feel that they can't do it because they don't think they can pull the trigger. Never what it is, and whatever's going through those officers' minds right now. This is where everyone should be standing up to society, and they should be going, well, hang on, why was Chris in that situation?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. I think one of the craziest parts about this is basically like your boss saying to you, like, this is part of your job, here's this gun, if things get crazy, you're allowed to use it, that's what we've trained you for. And then you use it, and then your boss says, murderer.
Yeah, you're labelled straight away.
Then everyone else around you is like, wait, we've got guns as well.
That's always been the procedures, though, with the armed police, as far as I'm aware, is that the minute that the weapon's been discharged, someone's been shot, they instantly automatically get suspended.
Yeah.
An investigation is then carried out, and then it goes on.
Yeah.
That's obviously what's happened here. The outcome of it is it's murder, but it makes you wonder if it was pushed murder because of the protests and the riots that are put upon.
Yeah, I don't really know what's been like. We obviously haven't seen the body cam footage or anything. I know his family have seen it, so I don't know what's come of that. But we haven't been able to see it, so it'd be interesting to know what happened in that situation. They don't really release body cam footage over here like they do in the States.
No, we don't have access to it like they do in the States. We have access to security public footage.
Yeah,
I believe the police have to in some instances, but obviously this is involved in death, so they don't actually have to release that evidence. But this is another thing that is just like I've said. It's just a pillar of society that's just collapsing. In a minute, all the police would do the same.
I guess we'll see what happens.
Can't go out and arrest, can you?
No.
Get done for anything now.
Yeah, you can. It is worried that police have less and less powers sometimes, because I know that police can be corrupt. That's of course true.
Everything.
Some police can be corrupt, of course, but there are certain situations where you'd want the police to have more power to protect you, and they can't, out of fear of them getting in trouble, and that's kind of scary.
Exactly. Yeah, Kona's on the rise just as flu comes in. That's all I've got to say.
Kona?
COVID.
You said Kona?
I think because you said someone else. Edit that one out.
Start again.
Make it quick and easy. Yep, COVID's on the uprise just as flu comes in. Go check the graphs. It's nowhere near what it was back in 2020. Don't worry about it.
That's it, COVID.
I don't bother.
COVID's gone.
I don't want nothing to do with it. It's just flu.
Graph on the screen.
If you want boosters, go get boosters. You're going to put the graph.
Put the graph on the screen. It'll be around here somewhere.
Start it off like this.
You'll see that it's on the rise, but it's also like
that big. It's like Erythium at the minute.
So maybe
it's got no going up. It's just staying down.
Don't worry about it. Mr. Elon Tusk.
Mr. Elon Tusk. That's the photo I should have used.
Elon Tusk.
Oh my god, that's what I was trying to think of a good photo. Yeah, you heard it. Elon Tusk, Elon Musk. I think he likes being called Elon Tusk.
Bet he does.
Must do. What's he done with X this week?
Well, he has decided that potentially, maybe, he is going to start charging every user on X. I don't think there's really been any discussion of the man, the myth, the legend. I don't think there's been much discussion on price or anything like that yet, as far as I'm aware. There's been some rumours, but
our IRL Tony Stark. Isn't
he is Tony Stark IRL. What do you think about him charging everyone to use Twitter? X, sorry,
Twitter, X, Twitter. That reminds me of Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Oh yeah. I haven't watched that in years.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I think it's a good idea to bots.
Do you reckon?
If it's £1 a month,
do you reckon
it's £12 per year.
Do you think this
people will pay that straight away and they get premium?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's because he's realised after all this time he can't fix the bot problem like he thought he could?
No, Twitter's got the same issue. Facebook's got the same issue. I'm on Facebook Messenger. I've got the community area. They've got a live chat. We're constantly getting porn sent into that.
Are you really?
And the admins can't deal with it. So Mark Zuckerberg is another one who's got to deal with this, bot issue. I don't think you can, because you got software that can make multiple accounts.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how you deal with the bot issue other than a paywall.
I think that's the only one.
But
because they have to then hand over personal details, their bank details.
They need
paying it.
They need credit card details, stolen credit card details, something. And that's a lot harder to get rather than just a name and an
exactly.
email.
So I think he's onto something.
I think it'll work.
I think it will work.
I do think it'll work. Charging people to use.
He'll lose a percentage.
It'll
of people.
definitely get rid of the bots, but yeah, it makes you wonder how many actual people he's going to lose at the same time.
We know that he lost quite a few people over the Twitter platform, then being bought by him, and then him changing the name to X, him then making it a freedom of speech platform, and then he lost a few more people because he got rid of you being able to block them.
However, one thing I've just realised actually, when he introduced Twitter Blue, was it?
Twitter Blue, where you can pay for your tick.
A lot more people bought that than I thought they would.
There's loads of accounts out there.
A lot of people paid for that.
There's like a Pep account. He's got Blue. Like Pepe. He's got like a...
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
There's loads. Every other person I see in the threads
there's a lot
will have a blue tick, and I go, who the fuck is that? And then I'll look at them, and it's not. It's just someone with a personal account that's got a blue tick.
I've seen a lot of people.
I think we're going to have to do it, get boys' account, get verified.
I reckon
so. The only way we get verified.
So it makes you wonder if this is actually going to work.
It will work. People will pay for it.
I'm just interested...
People will pay for it, and I'm not being funny because it will be cheap. Don't forget, there's all sorts of users on that platform as well. It is a platform that is full of explicit content, for one.
It can be.
and there's a freedom of speech. So there's my ex Twitter threads are so wholly focused on so many different agendas in the world right now. We've got obviously I get a lot from the president from the States. I get a lot from the UK. We get a lot of everything gets posted on there.
Yeah. Do you think with the pricing
and to take that away from someone?
Do you reckon with the pricing of this that if he makes it too cheap, it will make it easier for people making spam accounts to use like a stolen credit card? Because if it's like 50p a month, £1 a month, I'd imagine that's relatively easy to get away with.
I don't think he's going to do it. It'd be £1.
That's what I mean. Do you reckon it's going to be like £5 a month? An amount that's kind of too much that you can't use a stolen credit card for like 50,000 accounts or something?
Be traceable as well, won't it?
That's what I
Everything
mean.
will be traceable. So
if it's like 50p a month, you could quite easily get away with a stolen credit card, create like 1,000 accounts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if it's a credit card, it'd just be reversed, won't it? And that account would be removed.
I suppose
Because
so.
your subscription was cancelled.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder how they're going to how it's going to make a difference. But then at the same time, how many accounts are going to drop off, real accounts, because they don't want to pay? It makes you wonder where it's going to go. Although, like I said, Twitter Blue kind of worked pretty well, so...
It will work. It will work. I don't see it not working because there will be a percentage of people that will just go, okay, fine. They get their wallet out, they're punching their details, and it'll be cheap. They'll probably do something like a 3 month. It'll be like a month, 3 months. There'll be something like a year, and it'll just be like, oh, you're going to save 60% by doing a whole year. You go. And people will do it.
And for the whole year, it's going to be like £10 or something. Like,
there's men out there right now that subscribe to OnlyFans monthly at like, what is it, like 10 quid? I don't know. But this is what I'm saying.
I know blokes that spend hundreds.
But that's what I'm saying. And people wouldn't moan about that. Will they moan about Twitter, X?
Yeah, that is kind of true. I don't think, if the money's low enough, I don't think it's really.
People still subscribe to Reader's Digest.
So it exists.
This is all this is. It's a Reader's Digest.
As it kind of is.
It's
a Reader's Digest of what you have for breakfast.
It's clever. If it's gonna deal with his bot issue, it's clever. It works. It will then. I know that Meta will do the same thing. Meta have mentioned it before in the past about Facebook.
I can see some sort of premium model for Facebook, but I don't think they'll ever do full premium for everyone.
No. Not
because they make too much money selling the data.
So. That's stealing your data and selling it, and people still use it. Love the metaverse.
The metaverse.
Mark Zuckerberg.
That was a flop, wasn't it?
I mean, that man's just an alien, though. And Elon's like Tony Stark.
He's an alien that loves fighting.
So anyway, what that brings us to now is...
The new segment.
The new segment of our channel. Is Elon cool or not cool?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say, considering that he's a Iron Man IRL, I reckon he goes on the cool wall.
Elon is going on the cool wall.
I reckon he's a pretty cool dude.
So we're going to do this every week. You probably can't see me right now. You just probably hear me. We're going to do this every week now, and we're going to add more and more people. Yes, we're using White Tack. We'd love to make this magnetic.
I'm going to add a new person to the wall every week.
And copyright infringement. No, we didn't take this from Top Gear.
No, we did not.
They had the cool wall, didn't
What's
they?
Top Gear?
What is it?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, mate.
So Elon.
You can live long and prosper on the cool wall.
Elon is now on the cool wall.
I guess we'll see who goes on the not cool next week, if anyone.
So yeah, we're going to try and do this with as many people as possible as we can do in the news.
We will. Either that, Elon do something so stupid in the week, we'll just have to sort of move him over.
Cut him in half.
Cut him in half.
Cut him in half.
He's still half alright.
Yes, I am using premium gloss photo paper for these. So any like subscriptions or anything or like payment or whatever would be much appreciated. If you want to see more of the cool and not cool,
yeah, if you want to send us money for the paper, that'd be great.
For the paper, and any ideas or suggestions you want to talk about on segments, we'll put them on the cool, not cool.
We shall.
We're bringing back the 2000s, baby.
We are. Good old days.
So that brings us to the end of this week. Put blue tack down, Tom. White tack. I can't call it that. Caucasian.
Sticky tack.
Sticky tack. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this week.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on every platform apart from X, Facebook and Instagram.
Maybe we'll get on X. Maybe we'll get on the X.
On the X.
See if we can get verified.
We'll see if we get on the X. Get verified.
But we'll see about that. But yeah, like, subscribe, share the videos. That'd be lovely.
And once again, produced by Tom and Seb. Seb, the editor.
Editor extraordinaire.
You're getting better, aren't you?
Getting better. I've got it down to a science now, every episode.
The podcast for Spotify must be well easy. Just upload.
Literally it is. Just upload the audio.
Caption, that's it.
Uploading to Spotify takes all of 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Literally.
And then obviously to go to YouTube and TikTok.
Yes.
So yeah,
all
so
the TikToks. TikTok.
Yeah, the dark nights are rolling in. Autumn is coming.
They are.
Halloween is on its way.
It's not so summery out there anymore.
Halloween special.
Halloween special.
I think that's what we're going to
Dressed up like ghouls.
Ghouls. Feral ghouls.
Yeah, feral ghouls.
Not the nice ghouls.
Not the smooth skins.
Hey, smooth skin. Anyway, so yeah, we hope you've enjoyed this week. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Don't down-like. If you want to see more UFO activity, I believe you've uploaded it now.
I have uploaded
so,
the
yeah,
UFO
do
special.
go have a look at our UFO special.
Yes.
It's a lot of insight into that. We have a little
cross-link
bit of a whinge and a chat about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see who's on the call and not call next week.
Yeah, so watch the next one.
Peace, y'all.